Oh, hello there. I didn't see you. And probably because you're on the other end of a screen and it's physically impossible for me to. Unless I got in contact with your FBI agent. You know, the FBI agent. The one that definitely is staring at you through your phone right now. Even while you masturbate. That's not the important part right now. The important part is, you've come at a very awkward time. We are in a hot tub. Why are we in a hot tub? Well, because we need to relax. And what better way to relax than watching videos together on the internet? This video is called Georgia Mother Rips Mask Mandates for Children. And you know, I happen to live in Georgia. So I'm curious as to what we're going to find out here today. So, random Georgia mother, please enlighten us.
Every month I come here and I hear the same thing. Social emotional health. If you truly mean that, you would end the mask requirement tonight.
Social emotional health, huh? So, you do realize that without masks, we find ourselves in an awkward situation where we have to social distance more. And when we social distance more, like to the point of being atomized in our own houses all the time, our social emotional health largely tends to degrade. Whereas if we have masks, it is less likely that we will transfer something to somebody else, allowing us to engage in social activities with each other more often, therefore increasing our social emotional health. I feel as though maybe you don't understand that, but, you know, we'll go ahead and continue.
Tonight. This is not March 2020 anymore. We have 3 vaccines. Every adult in the state of Georgia that wants that vaccine is eligible to get it right now, and every one of us knows that young children are not affected by this virus.
Actually, children have died because of it, Karen. Children have died as a result of the virus. I think you'll find that it's not an every one of us knows thing. And when you say people have gotten the vaccine who got it, maybe you don't know what this vaccine does. This vaccine doesn't stop you from getting the virus. This vaccine doesn't stop you from transferring the virus. Oh no, this vaccine stops you from suffering the majority of the terrible effects of the virus if you happen to get it and it creates the disease in your system that causes all kinds of crappy things for happening. Arid Sans Day. How about no? Reach for the stars. How about no? You know what? Fine. Sonic Forces music it is. It's okay. It's okay, because we are relaxing together in a hot tub. And this is going to be a very relaxing time as we watch videos together while this woman desperately misunderstands science.
They're not. And that's a blessing. But as the adults, what have we done with that blessing?
Probably tried to protect your children and yourselves. You see, it's awkward when little 5-year-old Timmy goes to the school and gets COVID because some dumb kid wasn't wearing a mask because his mom doesn't know what science is, and then suddenly he's infecting grandma. Like, it's awkward. It's a bad time. And I'm just trying to relax. My muscles are loosening up in... Is this water that I'm in? I have no idea. I actually don't know what liquid I'm in right now. This could be corrosive, and I wouldn't even know.
We've shoved it to the side and we've said, we don't care. You're still going to wear a mask on your face every day, 5- and 6-year-olds.
Why does it matter that they're 5 and 6 years old? Also, if they are children, wearing a mask is not going to harm them. In fact, as children, wearing those masks earlier lets them understand that, hey, these things are incredibly useful in dangerous situations where there are pathogens that potentially could infect everybody around me at any given time. Maybe it's a good idea to let kids understand that these things have a use case instead of just pretending they don't.
You still can't play together on the playground like normal children, 7- and 8-year-olds. We don't.
Okay, so normal children. That's a mouthful of a word. Secondly, yeah, the pandemic didn't stop happening. The pandemic didn't stop happening. I understand you're getting very emotional, and you feel very strongly about this, but the world around you is still suffering from a global pandemic. And your snot-nosed brat could be part of the problem if you continue this shit.
We don't care. We're still going to force you to carry a burden that was never yours to carry. Shame on us.
Wow, you are so emotional for literally no reason. Holy fucking shit. Are you vicariously suffering through your child? Is that what's happening? Do you put a mask on your child and you just... Biden hates freedom. And this mask is a burden you have to bear. What is that? What is that? Do you want to talk about burdens that our children didn't need to bear, but we threw on them anyway? Let's talk about a crashing economic system. Let's talk about climate change. Let's talk about the shrinking middle class. These are all burdens they're gonna have to suffer. A mask is a mild inconvenience at best. Even wearing it repeatedly is, again, a mild inconvenience. It doesn't matter in the long run if 1 or 2 years of your child's life they are having to wear a mask because there is a deadly disease going around, then so be it. It's better than the alternative. And I understand that you might even be the person that thinks the alternative doesn't exist. You were the type of person earlier who said everybody who wants it for the vaccine. Everybody who wants it? That's kind of the problem already. If this were one of the versions, if this were a vaccine that prevented transference or prevented catching the virus, it protected in that way, then I would be down your throat much harder about that little Freudian slip of the tongue.
My 6-year-old looks at me every month before I come here and she says, "Are you going to tell them tonight? Tell them I don't want to wear this anymore." And I say, "Baby, it's not time to fight that battle yet." I try to explain that there's so many things.
It's not time to fight that battle yet. The battle of wearing a piece of cloth on my face. Okay, no, woman, look, again, I understand this is a very emotional thing for you, and I really don't want to invalidate your feelings. Your feelings are important, I get that. Your child's feelings are important. But your child's logic likely does not need to factor into this conversation. Your logic needs to factor in. You're the parent. Be the responsible one. Tell your child, hey, I understand you may not want to wear it right now, but if you were to catch this and incubate for 14 days before we actually knew that you even had something, if you were to catch this and you were to give it to your teacher, or you were to give it to me, and then I were to give it to a coworker, or any of these things, school's a fucking incubation zone. If you're a parent, you take kids to school, you get sick a lot when it's not summertime. Seriously. Be the responsible parent. Tell your child that, yeah, this sucks, but you kind of have to nut up a little bit and deal with it.
Never look at
But it's April 15th, 2021, and it's time. Take these masks off of my child.
You're so angry, and yet so wrong. Again, we still have very high rates of lethality with COVID. Until that stops, until that goes down, until those numbers start to drop, then things don't get to go back to normal. I understand that it's hard to deal with things not going back to normal. I get it. There are a lot of things in the outside world that I really enjoy doing. I like going to arcades. I like going to public parks. I like going to events where we sit down and play trading cards with each other. There's a lot of stuff on the outside that I like to do that is severely hampered by everybody dealing with mask mandates, by everybody dealing with COVID. But you know what? It is so much easier to deal with this. It is so much easier to deal with this if we tackle this, not individualistically, but as a society going forward. It is much easier to shoulder these burdens together than apart. Femboy Lover 7, thank you very much for the follow.
And I know what I'm going to be met with. But Ms. Taylor, the CDC, we did not vote for people at the CDC.
And You don't vote for the people who gained their PhDs. I'm sorry, democracy is not a thing in science. I understand that sounds kind of counterintuitive, but maybe I should explain it for a second. In science, in scientific fields, we do things based on expertise, based on peer review, based on results. In government, and ideally one day in the workplace, we can and should do things more democratically, where it's based more on popular opinion, where it's based more on how everyone feels about how things are going in the government, in the workplace, etc., in these communal spaces. Science does not work that way. If you could just elect your favorite scientist up there, I'm sure some dumbass would put Ken Ham in charge of the CDC to turn it into the ARC Project 2.0.
We did elect leaders who do create policy. We elected the 5 of you. We chose you to make difficult decisions for our children. We chose you to make decisions that would be in our children's best interest.
And their best interest is not killing Grandma, Karen.
And forcing 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9-year-old little children to cover their noses and their mouths where they breathe for 7 hours a day.
That doesn't mean anything, you absolute rube. You can breathe in a mask just fine. We've literally tested. Thank you very much for gifting the tier 1 subscription, Lilith Rose. We've literally tested the O2 levels that you find with it. I am having a harder time breathing in this hot tub than your child is likely having in a mask.
Every day for the last 9 months for a virus that you know doesn't affect them.
It does, though. In fact, actually, here, allow me to engage. Allow me to engage in a little adventure here. I could just type in "child dies of COVID." Oh wow, children are left without carers because of that. Let's see here. Wait, what is this? Babies dying of COVID-19 in Brazil? Child COVID deaths leave families devastated as United States reaches... Savannah area boy, age 7, becomes the state's... This is in Georgia, you daft moron! This is in Georgia! Woman! You live in Georgia! Savannah is in Georgia! We had a 7-year-old die of COVID. 9-year-old boy dies suddenly of COVID complications. 9-year-old boy dies in Texas. The boy who died on the trip to Hawaii, the one we talked about the other... Woman! These women, these people, they are dying of COVID still. It does not just not affect them. You are severely misinformed. This is the reason why you do not democratically elect scientists. You absolute buffoon.
That is not in their best interest. And
you silly goose. Yes, it is.
This has to stop.
God, she is very, very passionate.
Defend our children. My 6-year-old can't come up here and say this.
And he's likely not saying it at all.
It has to stop. Take these off of our children.
And everybody clapped. Like, no, literally, everybody clapped. Wow. My brain's bleeding. Why is the anime person in the hot tub trying to argue logic here? I don't get it. I don't understand. The hot tub, it gives me power. So, maybe we should talk about the fact that random-ass parents don't know how COVID works. I've had these conversations with people in my local area repeatedly, and random-ass people do not understand how this thing works. They don't. And I don't know. I bring this up because I see this so often. Everywhere, online, out at the store. I go to a Chinese place near me to get takeout every now and again. And when I go, a person comes in and sees the mask thing on the door, comes in without a mask, and then starts yelling his Alex Jones level conspiracy theories at the workers who barely speak English and are just trying to get him in and out the door with some fucking food. I have seen this at GameStop where just an older guy comes in and just, COVID ain't real, right? It's everywhere. Science denialism is everywhere. If you enjoyed this as stretchy of a definition of enjoy as I'm using right now, please click the like button, support my channel and what I do, and all that other fun stuff. If you haven't followed me over on Twitter, Twitch, not Twitter, Twitter's a hellscape, Twitch, please go to twitch.tv/NekoSuris. You will find my channel. Follow me over there. If you have not joined the Discord already, we have conversations that happen in there quite frequently. Hop into Northshire Abbey. Say hi. And with all that said, everyone, as always, insert end of video. Why the fuck am I in a hot tub here?